What's up YouTube, Slifer is back at it again with another structure deck opening and budget deck profile. That's right, it's been a while since we've done one of these. What was it, last structure deck? Soulblind? But here we go. Camera does not want to work with me today. I apologize if shit gets blurry every 5 seconds. But we got Order of the Spellcasters. This is the newest by 3 structure decks, and you're good to go. Looking ass guy. I've seen some of the stuff it can do. This deck is silly. I love it. So we'll get right on into this. Here's a little beginner's guide, you know. Typical stuff. Play Pendulum Monsters, please, bro. Please! And also, play Link Monsters, wherever that's at. Is it in the back now? I don't remember where they hid Link Monsters. In here somewhere. Right there. They get 4 pages more about Link Monsters. Link Monsters have no defense. Alright, perfect. We get the nice little playmat and guide thing. So, got my girl here. Almost that's a dude. Looks more like a female though. We got ENDYMION. And we got Daybreaker. And what cards should you mix this shit with? Well, apparently Witchcrafters and Arcanite Magician. Play some Boral Swords. Please play Boral Sword. And Phantasmare. Here's your a little combo guide. They really want you to play Spell Powered Grasp as well. But all that to the side. You know, this is what we came for, right? The Legacy of the Duelist advertisement. I'll say the Legacy of the Duelist Link Evolution advertisement. So let's just get this bad puppy open. Come on. There you go. I got plastic stuck to my fingertips. And we're gonna shove that into the box where it belongs. We get 2 advertisements now. One for Duel Links, one for Legacy of the Duelist. And neither of them have the Eye of Anubis anymore. That makes me really sad because I used to love that. How they had that on there. But I digress. Alright, so we got the head honcho himself, ENDYMION, the mighty master of magic. So here's a Cliff Notes version of what this fucking asshole does. Remove 6 spell counters from your field while he's in Pendulum Zone. Special summon him, then count the number of cards you control that have a spell counter and destroy up to that many cards on the field. And if you do, place spell counters on him equal to the number of cards destroyed. So you special summon him from Pendulum Zone. You have 5 cards that can hold spell counters. You pop 5 cards and then he gets 5 counters. Really simple stuff. When he's in the Monster Zone, you can negate a spell or trap card or effect upon activation by returning a card you control with the spell counter on it to the hand, and if you do, negate it, destroy it, and then you place the same number of spell counters on this card that card had. And then while he has a spell counter, your opponent cannot target it with card effects, and you cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effect. And when this card with the spell counter is destroyed by battle, you add 1 normal spell from your deck to your hand. Very, very powerful, you know, pop, and then cool, dude, Eye Search, Raigeki. Very good cards, very, very good cards. The Reflection of ENDYMION. So each time a spell card is activated, place a spell counter. That's going to be standard, you know. Move 3 spell counters, special summon this card from the Pendulum Zone and a monster from your hand that you can place a spell counter on. And then all of the new little ENDYMION guys share the effect that they can only special summon once per turn. Oh, that's weird. Look at how the text says. You can only special summon Reflections of ENDYMION once per turn. Is that supposed to be like that? Is that how that is on here? Oh, that's weird. That's weird. I feel like that's a misprint issue. But I digress. If it's special summoned, you can target 1 card your opponent controls and 1 card you control with a spell counter except itself. And return that opponent's card to the hand, then place the same number of spell counters on this card that the return card had. And when this card is spell counters destroyed by battle, add 1 ENDYMION card from your deck to your hand. So it's another searcher. It's typically the one of. Spell Power Mastery, you add an ENDYMION card from your deck to your hand. Then you count Spell Power Masteries and Spell Power Grabs you control or have in your graveyard, and place that many spell counters among cards you control that can hold spell counters. So if you have 1 of this on the field, 2 of it in grave, and then 3 Spell Power Grasp in your grave, you're placing 6 counters on shit, buddy. Good cards. Dwimmered Path. Honestly, this should have been a card just in a regular set. It's a good card. Just target a spellcaster effect monster in the graveyard and add it to your hand. It's a good card, but not in this deck. Really not in this deck. And then we got a Daybreaker, the Shining Magical Warrior. So if he's link summoned, you place a spell counter on him, gains 300 attack for your spell counter on him, and you can only activate each of the following effects once per turn. If a spellcaster monster is special summoned to a zone this card points to, place one spell counter on this card. You can move 2 spell counters from this card, and then target one card on the field and destroy it. So he's Breaker. He's 2 spellcasters. He's 2 spellcasters. He's Breaker for the modern age. You know. We got Magister right here. Magister's a pretty cool guy. He's the one that special summons from extra deck in Pendulum Scale, and then you can move 3 spell counters from your field, special summon 1 monster from your deck that you can place a spell counter on during your opponent's turn. And if he in the monster zone will be destroyed, you can place him in the Pendulum Zone and put the same number of spell counters he had in the monster zone on him in there. So, you know, just general I don't die motherfucker sort of shenanigans. Serving him Endymion, same thing, remove 3 spell counters, special summon this card from the Pendulum Zone, and a monster from your deck with 1,000 or more attack that you can place a spell counter on, and if you do place 1 spell counter on each. That's really degenerate, by the way. Just, you know what, I'm just gonna get a big-ass boss monster from my deck for no cost. Pretty cool stuff. Now we're into some reprint territory. So we got Endymion, Crusader of Endymion, Defender, Mythical Beast Cerberus, and Medusa for some reason. Magical something. Magical Exemplar, Magical Abductor, good cards. Disenchanter, Apprentice Magician, Demot, you know, old guys, Fairy Tale Luna, Summoner Monk, Spellbook Magician, Magical Undertaker, Magician of Faith, and then Droll and Lockbird. So this finally happened. We finally got Common Droll. In a format where Droll is like, he's dead boy. Although he does absolutely fuck danger. But if they open 5 dangers, they're still gonna go off. And now we got Endymion Lab. So it becomes Magical Citadel of Endymion while it's in the spell and trap zone. Each time a spell card is activated, place 1 spell counter on it after it resolves. Once per turn after damage count, if your spellcaster wants to destroyed by battle, remove 6 spell counters from the field. Special summon 1 level 7 or higher spellcaster monster from your hand or deck. It's a good card, but other cards in the deck do the same thing faster and better. If you're absolutely hurt, you can play it, I assume. Magical Citadel of Endymion, pretty standard. Get spell counters. If a card with a spell counter on it is destroyed, put those spell counters on this, and if this would be destroyed, you remove a spell counter instead. And then if you activate a card effect by removing spell counters, you can just remove them from this card as well instead. It's really good. Spell Power Grasp. You target a card in the field that you can place spell counter on, place a spell counter on it, and then you search for a Spell Power Grasp. I only bring this up because I don't think people really remember this card. You get 2 of this in the deck, by the way. People don't really remember this card. I played it in Duel Links because it was nasty. Reprint Town, we got Arcane Barrier, Secrets, Power, Wisdom, Magical Blast, Magical Dimension, Terraforming, Left Arm Offering, which is just, you know, bonkers, by the way, that this happened. And then Common Desires, making me wish I was never born. Common Potter Desires. And then all the traps are reprints, I believe. So we got a Mythical Bestiamorph, Pitch Black Power Stone, Extra Butt, Gagaga Shield, and Magician's Circle. So it is a really good structure deck, you know. So with that being said, we'll be right back with the budget build. Stay tuned. Alright, boys and girls, we are back with our budget build. The sleeves are not budget. So we'll get on with it. We'll just play the 3 copies of the Daybreaker, the Shining Magical Warrior for the extra deck. You pretty much have to. If you're doing just 3 structure decks, you know, why not? Bam, bada bop boom, pow. Triplet him. Alright, so you will max out on Endymion, the Mighty Master of Magic. No real reason not to. Big board wipe, boy. Kills shit with no problems. Just an all-around great card. No reason not to max out on it. 2 copies of Reflection. You can max out on this as well, but I think 2 is fine for what you would need. It's searchable in a little bit later parts of the deck. Pretty much easy access to it. The bouncing is nice, but it does require your opponent to, you know, have something. That could be said about just about everything in this fucking deck, but Out of all of the new ones, she's definitely one of the weakest ones. She can only special summon from the hand, I believe. Yeah, she special summons from the hand, so you have to technically make one hand advantage to do anything with her, but she's still a very good card. 3 copies of Servant. Should come as no surprise. Servant is one of the best cards in the deck. Special summon from the deck for free. No biggie. Just degenerate dumb stuff. And 3 copies of Magister of ENDYMION as well to get those extra deck pluses. And then here's where my budget build might differ from others. I don't know. I haven't looked at other budget builds because I don't need no template. But we got 1 copy of OG ENDYMION. So you can special summon him from your hand or graveyard by removing 6 spell counters from a magical citadel of ENDYMION you control. And if you summon that way, you target a spell in your graveyard and add it to your hand. And then once per turn, you can discard 1 spell to target 1 card in the field and destroy that target. So just another boss monster option. You can get him out as well pretty easily and just bop shit real quick. I feel like for a 3 structure deck for a budget kind of thing, having a backup option is always nice. 3 copies of Magical Abductor. Remove 3 spell counters from it, add a Pendulum monster from your deck to your hand once per turn. Just kind of really good and degenerate. This card is still very, very good for a card that came out, I believe, in Cross Souls. Very degenerate stuff. And I chose to play 3 of the Spellbook Magician of Prophecy. Normal summon, pretty much Search Secrets. As far as I can tell, the deck doesn't really have a dedicated normal summon. So giving you access to a dedicated normal summon is very, very nice. And if you're in a tight spot, you can also do this, and then when he's flipped face up, you get a search as well. So, you know, Spellbook Magician is just a very good card still. And rounding out the monsters, triple Eldrol and Lock all Birds for your hand trap, because it's pretty fucking good. Now onto the spells. For spellbook stuff, I played 3 secrets to search out, 2 copies of Power, and the 2 copies of Wisdom. Power, plus 1000 if it destroys a monster by battle, you draw a card. And Wisdom, protect you from either a spell or traps this turn. Both very, very good, but I didn't feel like maxing out on either of them, just to give the deck's inherent consistency with the ENDYMION stuff more room to function. Having less of these, but there's still plenty of them. You got the 3 secrets to search out whatever you need. It's still really, really good. Triple Pot of Desires to help out with your consistency. I hate looking at this. I'm going to be changing these out with my secrets as soon as this video is done. Triple Spell Power Mastery. If the camera wants to load. Triple Spell Power Mastery. Searcher, spread your spell counters. Hoo-ha, the whole world works. This card is insanely good, and if they were gonna hit anything from this deck, it would either be what's her name? Come on, not Reflection. Fuck me. It would be Servant or Spell Power Mastery, because both of those cards are just insanely good. Dos Terraformingos. We play 2 Terraformings to search out our 2 copies of Magical Citadel. I choose to play 2 ENDYMION's Lab, just to give you an extra card to boost the spell counters, an extra way to summon the OG ENDYMION because the Shreed is Magical Citadel, and just an extra way to get out a big beefy boss monster as well. It's a good card, it's just in regular, standardized, more expensive builds, there's just so much more faster options than this. And then the last 2 cards we play are 2 copies of Magical Citadel of ENDYMION. So I hope you enjoyed this one, guys. I enjoyed making this. I wasn't looking forward to it going in. I will admit that right now. I was not interested in this deck at all, other than the fact that it had some pretty cool reprints. But after toying around with it and looking at how the shit actually works, I think I like this deck, and it will become the 4th Pendulum deck that I've ever played. Yes, right up there with the classics such as Abyss Actor and Dino Mist. And I played what else did I play? I don't remember. I played like 1 good Pendulum deck, and that was it. I played Pendulum Magician. That was it. So anyway, guys, please smash that motherfucking like button. Check us out on TCGPlayer as Sora Online. Shops open Thursday and Friday. My belly is moving the camera. Alright. More deck profiles coming soon. Stay tuned for Speed Duel stuff coming down the pipeline. We're really excited to get started on being your Speed Duel Superstore. And with that being said, Slifer and Duelist will be signing out.